Hey friends, your old pal Barkey J Dog here, back with another movie review. For this one, we're revisiting our friend, the 1970s, for an intriguing mystery thriller with a name-brand cast and a paranormal element. This time, we're talking about Eyes of Laura Mars from 1978. Our story goes like this. Laura Mars is a high-end professional fashion photographer, and in recent years, she's begun incorporating violence into her art. This coincides with a strange affliction whereby she has visions of murders done in real time. She sees the crimes through the eyes of the murderer. And now it seems that the killer has eyes for her. Why she starts randomly having these visions or the nature of the psychic connection with the killer is never explained. One by one, people close to Laura Mars are being bumped off. And eventually, this police detective has no choice but to believe her when she tells him about her visions. Despite the disturbing crimes and these visions threatening to drive Laura batty, eventually the pair fall in love. So who's the killer? Is it Laura's skeevy chauffeur? Is it Odo? Is it Bert? Is it one of the models? Is it the detective? Is it this cop? Is it Gomez Adams? Is it Laura Mars herself? Is it one of the victims? Is it this midget? We don't know, but we gotta find out! In our cast, wow, what a gaggle of names, both famous and soon-to-be famous, or at least somewhat known. Faye Dunaway is really awesome here as Laura Mars, troubled and freaked out by what's happening to her and the toll it takes. Dunaway took the time to shadow actual fashion photographers to get a feel for how they work, how they hold the camera, and all that stuff. Really a fine performance from a legendary actress. Tommy Lee Jones and his unibrow play love interest and detective John Neville. He gives a really good monologue towards the end of the movie describing the motivation of the killer. A monologue, don't tell the Writers Guild, he made up himself. Raul Julia is here as Laura's ex-husband and chief suspect. Rene Auberjonois, Odo from Deep Space Nine, plays Donald, one of Laura's friends and part of her team on the photo shoots. He's fun in this, man. Dig that crazy hair. Oh, wow. But he's really good in this picture. Frank Adonis plays Sal, a detective. He was in several crime movies, usually as a mob guy or a cop. Ace Ventura, Raging Bull, Goodfellas, you know this guy. Michael Tucker plays Bert, one of Laura's support team on the photo shoots. He plays the layout man for the publications. Tucker is probably most familiar for his role as Stewart on the TV series L.A. Law. He was also in the Woody Allen films Radio Days and The Purple Rose of Cairo. Meg Monday plays the first victim we see. She got her start doing television in the 1950s. After Eyes of Laura Mars, she appeared in Oliver's Story, the sequel to Love Story. Then she was in Ordinary People, Fatal Attraction, and Someone to Watch Over Me. Darlene Flugel plays Lulu, one of the sexy models. This was her first screen credit, and deciding that by the age of 25 she was washed up as a model. Really? She still looked pretty hot to me. She went into acting, appearing in Once Upon a Time in America, To Live and Die in L.A., Darkman 3, and, of course, Battle Beyond the Stars. Nicholas Guest is in this as, ironically, a guest. He's credited as a party guest. I didn't spot him, but I think he's in this birthday party scene. You've seen this guy. He was in Trading Places, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, The Long Riders, Doll Man, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. He plays a cadet in that. He has tons of credits, and in later years, he's moved into voice work for cartoons and video games. Eyes of Laura Mars was only his second acting credit. Finally, we have Brad Dourif, who plays Tommy, the scaly chauffeur. Another actor who has a long filmography. He was in Dune, Child's Play, where he voices Chucky, Heaven's Gate, Blue Velvet, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Is he still not familiar? How about now? That's right, he played Grima Wormtongue in The Lord of the Rings. Wow, what a cast! Eyes of Laura Mars was directed by the great Irvin Kershner, who helmed the awesome sequel to Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, as well as RoboCop 2 and the Bond film Never Say Never Again. The direction is solid, as you'd expect. One of the finishing touches using mirrors to describe the nature of the killer. Brilliant! The story and original screenplay were written by the equally legendary John Carpenter, who later that year had a hit of his own with Halloween. He didn't have much to do with the production, though, and his script, called Eyes, was rejiggered, as often happens, changing, among other things, the identity of the killer for another character altogether. The producer of Eyes of Laura Mars was John Peters, which is why the theme song was sung by Barbra Streisand. The two had a thing going, and Babs was slated to star, but ultimately didn't. And after kicking around some other names, Faye Dunaway got the part, and famously fought with Peters the whole time. The end result is really good. The cinematography in this one is really good too, showing off the grittiness of 1970s New York with lots of great location footage. And speaking of cinematography, one scene had a problem where Dunaway walks into a room with cool lighting tones, but the next shot was way warmer in tone. So they had to fix that somehow so the shots would match. A simple task today with something like DaVinci Resolve. But back in the day, they had to do it photochemically by reprocessing the film. The result is noticeable, but not glaringly so. It might even come off as natural as the sun sets in the scene. The idea of a character having paranormal visions or second sight is one we've talked about before, such as in my review of 1972's The Eyes of Charles Sand, or Baffled, a pilot for a proposed series starring Leonard Nimoy. Both are really good, as well as a show I've talked about from the 1980s, a Canadian production called Seeing Things, where a reporter has visions he can't control and they always involve murder. In his case, it's after the fact, and his visions give him puzzle piece-style insights into the evidence which he somehow has to work out in order to solve the crime. I love that show! It has some light comedy in it, so it's a little like Murder, She Wrote, only Canadian, and with the paranormal slant. In this film, the filmmakers did a good job of holding their cards close to the vest until they were ready to reveal the killer's identity. So while Eyes of Laura Mars is no Citizen Kane, and it has a few flaws, it still has an interesting sensibility, and it takes the premise seriously. Why Laura Mars has these visions is never explained, but it doesn't have to be, which is the beauty of this era of film. Eyes of Laura Mars is practically the embodiment of the phrase, "They don't make 'em like they used to," which is a shame for those of us still craving actual, well-crafted stories written by adults. Kino Lorber has put out a nice Blu-ray of the film, and it comes with a short vintage making-of featurette, among other things. That's the one to get. As for the film itself, I'm giving Eyes of Laura Mars 3 paws up. It's well worth a watch. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.